Hey guys, this is Brandon with a tech review of the Umi-super 4G phablet smartphone. Right now, I'm currently using the Umi-super as my daily driver, and I could say that I'm not really disappointed and I don't really have that many complaints. The Umi-super rocks a Helio P10 octa-core 64-bit processor that is clocked at 2 GHz. My previous phone was a Samsung Galaxy S5. I'm not sure about the specs of that processor. I'll throw it up on the screen. But as far as right now, this phone is giving me no problems at all, fast and fluid, and I can multitask between apps like a breeze. This phone rocks 4 gigs of RAM with a 32 gigabyte ROM for storage. Now, coming from my previous phone, which was the Galaxy S5, I only had 16 gigabytes of internal storage, but now with this 32 gigs, it's a step up, and you can expand with a micro SD card in one of these SIM tray areas. Now, as far as cameras go, we have a 5 megapixel front camera and a 13 megapixel rear camera. This is the performance test of the 13 megapixel rear camera, and this is a video test of the 5 megapixel front facing camera. So far, I could say with this camera, I don't really have many complaints, except for low light performance and also image noise whenever you get up to higher ISOs. Another thing that I like about this phone is that it has a dual SIM tray. However, you could use one SIM and an SD card to expand storage. As far as the Android platform, it does run a fairly naked Android experience, which I rather prefer over my old bloated AT&T Samsung Galaxy S5 Android smartphone any day. With the lightweight Android performance of a more bare bones operating system, it does give you the freedom to have little to no bloatware at all, and you also get the lightweight experience that most users crave out of an Android smartphone. As far as Wi-Fi support, this phone has a 802.11 Wi-Fi card in it that can run on a 2.4 gigahertz or 5 gigahertz network. And as far as connectivity and mobile data, it could run up to 4G LTE. However, you might want to check with your current local network to see if you will be able to use this phone on your network. I am able to only get up to 3G mobile data on this phone, so as far as my local network, only 3G, and I can't really use mobile cellular data. Now, for most people that would be a bummer, but considering that I mainly go point A to point B and I don't really go adventuring that much outside in my local area, I really only go out for running or different things like that. I'm not on the road that much. So as far as mobile data, I don't really have any gripes with it, but for some people that might be a deal breaker depending on where they live. 5.5-inch display running at 1920 by 1080 Full HD with a current Gorilla Glass 3 protection rating. So not the highest rating that we've seen on a smartphone, but the $150 price range, it's perfectly understandable. Now, I have been using this phone as my daily driver for a while now with this protective case on it because this was really, I mean, honestly, one of the few protective cases that I could actually find for this smartphone. Now, what I will say about fingerprints and smudges is that it kind of picks up fingerprints and smudges fairly well. I don't know if you can necessarily see it with the camera, but, I mean, fingerprints and smudges, really, it doesn't look the best with fingerprints and smudges, but for most people that's perfectly fine. Whenever the screen is on, the smudges really don't make that much of a difference. It just may seem unappealing to most people considering that the glass is a fingerprint magnet. The entire rear housing of the Umi-super 4G phablet is aluminum with only these plastic bands for cellular reception. One thing that I will say that I completely love about this smartphone is how well executed the fingerprint sensor actually is on this phone. With just a simple tap, the phone is open immediately. What I will say is how much I love the fingerprint sensor on this smartphone and how well it was executed. With just a simple tap of the finger, the phone is wide open to your use and at your disposal. I really haven't had any problems with this fingerprint sensor. I would say that this fingerprint sensor is much better than the one on my previous phone, the Galaxy S5, because you had to drag your finger across and it just felt unnatural. While with the Umi-super, you could just simply tap your finger on this button of the smartphone and it opens immediately. There's really only a slight delay, so I shouldn't necessarily say immediately, but it's not really that noticeable nonetheless. The Umi-super does come packed in this black metal tin right here that I have, and I've really only had a few dings on it, so as far as the metal tin, I feel like it's not really the manufacturer's fault that it got dinged up so much, but with the metal tin kind of dinged, I would rather that dinged instead of my phone. The Umi-super comes shipped with everything that you need to get it started, also with the SIM card tool for the tray slot, so that way you could actually get the SIM card into your phone, as well as the micro SD. So see, the tool fits into that tray right there. The real only gripe that I had with this phone is that even though I ordered from the US factory of GearBest, well, I say US factory, but more US warehouse of GearBest, they sent me a European charger, and even though I can't use the European charger, it's actually slightly bent. So I'm displeased at the fact that they sent me a European charger, but I'm also really displeased at the fact that it's bent. I don't know why I'm more dissatisfied about the fact that it's bent than the fact that I can't use it for my phone at all. Another problem that I have with the power charging and the availability and charging of the phone is the fact that the cable is so short. I could pretty much get this into my lens shots and my camera isn't that far away, and this is an 18 to 55 millimeter kit lens for those of you guys that are camera techs like I am. So the cable is really only a few meters long, and whenever you're trying to charge it with another brick and you have it plugged into your wall and you're laying in bed like most of us are late at night, or if you have it plugged into your wall and you're sitting in your chair trying to watch TV and also momentarily check your phone at the same time, I find that the USB-C charger comes unplugged a lot, and it's just the most unpleasant thing. It is just the most unpleasant thing that I've had to deal with this phone. But other than that, you'll actually realize that the 4,000 milliamp hour battery will last you a very, very, very long time. So, would I recommend this phone as a daily driver? I would, honestly, for the price. To a lot of people who are in the market for a $140, $150 smartphone, now the price fluctuates depending on what website and what market you're looking at. But I would have to say that I could recommend this phone over most budget smartphones simply because of the build quality and the actual quality control that goes into the phone itself, and making sure that you get premium quality for the price. Thank you guys for watching this review of the Umi-super 4G Phablet. I will catch you later and next time. like this video down below and subscribe. If you don't necessarily like the video, you can give me a dislike, that works too, and you can leave some feedback in the comments of how I can improve. Thank you guys, and I hope that you have a really nice day. Peace.